touched by fate, a mistaken text to the CEO reveals an incredible baby miracle in just 3 hours. The sun hung low, casting a golden glow over the fields of rural Missouri, when Emma's world transformed in an instant. A buzzing noise pulled her from thoughts of Lily's laughter, replaying like a melody in her mind. She glanced at her phone and saw a message meant for someone else, a local CEO named Jack. It was an invitation for a charity initiative for newborns in need, but Emma's mind raced with the thought that it could be more than that. The desperation of single motherhood tugged at her heart, and she bravely typed a response, pouring out her soul about juggling long shifts at the diner and late-night cleaning jobs while tending to her spirited 5-year-old. "I wish someone could hear my struggles," she typed, feeling the edges of hope stab through her chest. To her astonishment, Jack replied almost immediately. Known for his stern demeanor and impressive business acumen, he surprised her with vulnerability, sharing his own battles and dreams over late-night chats. As the hours passed, they grew closer, hearts woven together by common threads of family and aspirations. Every message brought a flicker of warmth against the cold reality of mounting medical bills. Emma's chest tightened when she revealed the truth: Lily's health was deteriorating. Tears blurred her vision when she hit send. Would this stranger understand her plight? Just then, the atmosphere shifted. Rumors began to swirl through their tight-knit community, misinterpreting Emma and Jack's friendly exchanges as something more, and the whispers threatened to destroy the fragile connection they had built. "What does she think she is doing?" someone had scoffed. Emma felt the weight of judgment bearing down on her, the familiar walls of their small town closing in like a vice. Before she could even process the growing tension, Jack made a decisive move. Staring out at the fading daylight, he gathered his friends and colleagues to organize a fundraiser, hoping to climb over the quicksand of gossip to illuminate the struggle Emma faced and save Lily. As the day of the event dawned, a mix of emotions flooded the community's gathering. Skepticism met support, creating a symphony of chatter. Emma watched from the sidelines, her heart pounding, as Jack took the stage, the microphone a beacon of change in his hands. Just as he was about to speak, illuminating the hopes he had for Emma and Lily, the lights flickered ominously, and an unexpected visitor emerged from the crowd, causing a gasp to sweep over the audience. "Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen." Now let's continue. The entire atmosphere shifted. Emma held her breath. Who could it be? The stranger's identity hung heavy in the air like a storm cloud, ready to unleash a deluge. Would this twist in fate ruin everything they had built, or would it become the catalyst for the miracle they so desperately needed? Emma's heart raced as the crowd turned to face the newcomer, their collective gasp signaling that nothing would ever be the same. A tall figure stepped forward, casting a long shadow under the dim lights. Emma squinted, trying to make out the face concealed in the throng. The voice that floated through the whispers hit her like a bolt of lightning. "Emma, wait." It was Claire, her estranged sister. The last person she expected or wanted to see on this life-changing night. Claire's hair was tousled, and her eyes glistened with concern. Emma hadn't spoken to her sister in years, not since the fallout that shattered their once close bond. "Why are you here?" Emma's voice was barely above a whisper, tinged with disbelief. "I heard about the fundraiser. I had to come," Claire replied, desperation sculpted in her expression. Emma felt a mix of anger and relief swirling within her. The audience continued to murmur, curiosity growing with every passing second. Jack stepped down from the podium, confusion and frustration dancing across his features. "Do you two know each other?" He gestured toward them, an unclear mix of emotions wrestling for dominance on his face. Emma could feel the weight of the entire crowd turning toward her, their eyes piercing, waiting for an explanation. Before she could respond, Claire launched into her story. "I'm sorry, Emma. I know I messed up. I was wrong to leave without saying goodbye. I thought I was helping you by staying away. Her voice cracked, revealing the years of pain and regret buried beneath her bravado. Emma's heart sank as memories flooded back. Childhood laughter, shared dreams, and the day Claire chose a different path, abandoning not just her family but Emma, too. The anger bubbled beneath her surface, threatening to overtake her. But then she saw the trembling hands and the tears shimmering in Claire's eyes, and her heart softened, just a little. Lily, she needs support, Claire continued, her voice stronger now. I want to help. I can help. The words lingered in the air, a lifeline tossed amidst the noise. Jack turned to Emma, searching for her reaction. She met his gaze, a whirlwind of emotion swirling inside. Could she trust Claire? Did she dare forgive her? But there was no time to dwell on their fractured past. Lily was at the forefront of her mind, the one person who needed saving, and if Claire could step up. Okay, Emma finally said, her voice shaky but resolute. But we need to go together. This isn't just about us anymore. The audience seemed to inhale collectively, sensing the shift. Claire nodded, relief washing over her face. Jack stepped forward again, a determined look in his eyes. This is what we need. A united front. His voice surged with conviction, igniting a spark among the gathered crowd. People began murmuring, the tension palpable as they grasped the implications of this reunion. There was still skepticism, but also a glimmer of hope. Perhaps this bond could mend what was broken, create a support system where Emma felt she had none. But just as the crowd was starting to settle, Jack's phone buzzed urgently in his pocket. Please excuse me for a moment, he said, stepping back to take the call. Emma's heart raced again, uncertainty creeping in. What could this mean? The seconds felt like hours as she stood there with Claire at her side. Would their fragile alliance hold? Would they be able to save Lily? The answers felt just out of reach, the future overshadowed by doubts. Suddenly, Jack returned, his face pale. I have some important news, about the charity, and it involves Lily. At that, Emma's heart dropped. What could it be? The room felt heavy with anticipation, fear threading through her like electricity. With a deep breath, Emma prepared herself for whatever was to come. Would it change everything? Was it a blessing or a curse? As she stood there, the stakes had never been higher. The clock was ticking, and the fate of her family hung in the balance. What would Jack say next? Jack took a moment, his gaze scanning the audience. The noise of whispered conversations faded into an anxious hush. Emma could feel her heartbeat in her ears. She grabbed Claire's hand, and the warmth of her sister's touch stirred a flicker of hope. Okay, Jack said, voice steady but grave. I just got off the phone with the hospital's charity department. They discovered a major and urgent requirement for Lily's treatment. The words hung in the air, looming large. Emma felt a shiver run down her spine. What do you mean? She demanded, her voice just above a tight whisper. She couldn't bear the idea of Lily facing anything more than what she already had. Jack swallowed hard. They need additional funds to secure a specialized procedure. It's costly and has to be done immediately. Without it, Lily, she might not have enough time. His revelation landed like a heavy stone in Emma's stomach. Time? What did that mean? She glanced at Claire, who had gone pale, the color draining from her cheeks. Wait, Claire interjected, panic flickering in her eyes. How much? Over $50,000, Jack replied, his eyes darting between the sisters. The crowd gasped collectively, the reality of the situation crashing down like a wave. Emma's mind raced. 50,000? It felt insurmountable. The exhilaration from accepting Claire's help moments ago evaporated, replaced by suffocating fear. That's impossible, she murmured, shaking her head. Claire squeezed her hand tighter. No, it's not. We can rally support. We have to. The audience murmured again, this time the whispers carrying a sense of momentum. We can do it, someone called out from the back, igniting a flicker of collective determination. Emma looked to Jack, his expression resolute. The charity is in place, he said, voice rising with a measured passion. We just need the community to step forward. We can leverage social media, host another fundraiser. This is bigger than just us. Emma felt her heart lift, but it was quickly followed by doubt. Could they really do it? She turned to Claire, searching her sister's eyes for reassurance. Claire nodded, but Emma could see the fear lurking there too. We can't lose Lily. We can't let her down again, Claire whispered, voice trembling. Let us get everyone on board, Jack said, rallying the crowd. We can't waste a moment. If you believe in Lily's fight, we need you. Tonight. A sudden cheer surged through the crowd, a wave of energy igniting that made Emma's heart swell. This was her community, alongside family, ready to rally. But what if they failed? What if it was too late? Assemble the team. Jack boomed, pointing at various people in the audience. Let us set up social media drives, call local businesses. Every voice counts. Emma watched, a mix of apprehension and hope flooding her veins. There was work to do, and urgency pressed against them like a physical force. The solidarity felt palpable, igniting something in her that had been dormant for so long. I'll do everything I can to help, Emma said, her voice stronger now. I'm right here, Claire responded, determination flooding her tone. But as they organized, a new fear crept into Emma's heart. What if they were too late? What if they couldn't raise the funds in time? Just as they were ready to split up, her phone buzzed in her pocket, making her jump. It was a text from an unknown number. Emma, it's urgent. You need to read this. It's about the fundraiser, and Lily, her hands shook. What could this stranger know that they didn't? What news could possibly change everything? In that moment, the air around her crackled with tension and possibility. Emma stared at her phone, heart pounding. What did this text mean for her sister's future? Would it illuminate a path forward, or shatter their already fragile hope? Emma's heart raced as she stared at the screen, the words blurring together. She could barely breathe, the realization that everything hinged on this message knocking the wind out of her. Was it a cruel joke? Or a beacon of hope? Emma? What does it say? Claire's voice was urgent, laced with the same anxiety that tightened Emma's throat. I don't know, a text from someone I don't even recognize, she stammered, feeling the weight of responsibility pressing down on her. They said it's urgent and related to the fundraiser and Lily. Read it. Claire urged, gripping her hand even tighter, her eyes wide with anticipation. With a shaky breath, Emma tapped the screen to read the message out loud. Emma, I know you don't know me, but I heard about Lily's situation through a friend. I'm heading a tech company that could help fund the procedure. Please, let me know how I can assist. The room around them faded, the crowd's chatter becoming a muffled drone. Emma's mind swirled, disbelief mingling with budding hope. A tech company they want to help? Who is this person? Claire asked, frowning in confusion. I don't know. But if they're serious, Emma's voice trailed off, the potential standing before them almost overwhelming. What if this is the break we've been waiting for? Jack, sensing the shift in energy, stepped closer. He glanced from Emma's phone to the sisters. What's going on? Is something happening? It's a text, Emma replied, still trying to process the words. Somebody wants to fund Lily's procedure, but I don't know who they are. There's no time to waste, Jack said decisively. Respond to them. Find out more. Before she knew it, Emma's fingers were tapping out a reply. Thank you for reaching out. Can you tell me more about how you heard about Lily's situation? We're in urgent need of help. As she pressed send, waves of uncertainty washed over her. What if this was a scam? Or worse, what if there was no follow-up? Claire's eyes locked onto hers. Do you think it's real? I don't know. But we need to stay hopeful. If they're genuine, this could change everything, Emma said, a blush of determination mixing with fear. We can't let our doubts drag us back. Not now. The crowd was buzzing with activity, but Emma felt a strange calmness amid the chaos. The dim lights cast shadows across the room as people began to chant Lily's name, an echo of faith that filled every corner. Emma could almost see the possibilities unfold, a community united, cards stacked in their favor, and maybe, just maybe, a miracle. Just as she turned back to the group, her phone buzzed again. Emma's heart jumped. The name at the top of the message was still unfamiliar, yet a sense of urgency gripped her. Sorry for the vague message before. Let us meet. We can discuss how to cover those medical costs, but I need to hear the details from you directly. Read the new text. Meet? When? Emma whispered, her thoughts racing out of control. Right now, the reply came through. Can you be in DC in an hour? I believe it's critical. DC? The reality of the situation crashed over her. This was real, too real. Claire looked at her, uncertainty clouding her eyes. Are you going? What if it's a trap? Emma hesitated, heart pounding in her chest. It felt so risky, yet the whisper of hope was a siren song she couldn't ignore. The decision loomed before her like a fork in the road. What if this was the chance they desperately needed? I have to go, Emma finally said, her voice quaking with a mixture of fear and determination. For Lily. Claire nodded, refusing to let despair win. Then I'm coming with you. As they moved towards the exit, the reality of their decision sank in, but so did the dawning light of hope. They would chase this thread, see where it led. Emma pulled out her phone once more, fingers trembling. What awaited them in DC? What secret might unfold during the most pivotal moment of their lives? She pressed send on a quick response, saying they'd meet. All her fears were swallowed by that one decision. The unknown awaited, ripe with possibilities. Would it lead them to the support they so desperately needed, or was it a mistake in the making? But they had to try. As they stepped out into the cool night air, the world felt both vast and impossibly small, each second stretching and contracting around them. What awaited them in DC would shape everything. But could it lead to the miracle they needed? Emma took a deep breath, heart racing as she plunged into the night, ready to embrace whatever lay ahead. The car ride to DC felt like a whirlwind, lights dashed by in a blur as Emma's stomach knotted with nerves and excitement. Claire sat beside her, fingers tapping anxiously on her knee. Each passerby they sped past seemed oblivious to the monumental weight pressing down on the two sisters. What do you think they want to discuss? Claire broke the silence, searching Emma's face for answers. I don't know. Maybe they can help cover the medical costs, or they have resources we haven't even considered. Emma's thoughts spiraled, envisioning every potential outcome, both good and bad. Hope can be a dangerous thing, she reminded herself. But they needed hope now more than ever. The car turned onto a busy street, and the skyline of DC loomed ahead, its monuments illuminated like beacons. Emma's heart raced, a mixture of awe and dread pulling at her heartstrings. Would this meeting bring clarity or just heighten the chaos? The driver pulled to a stop outside a sleek, glass building, its modern architecture gleaming under the streetlights. Emma took a deep breath, willing herself to keep calm. She turned to Claire. You ready? I guess we have to be, Claire replied, though her voice wavered. They stepped out and headed towards the entrance. Each step felt momentous, the echo of their heels against the pavement marking the gravity of their journey. A sense of disbelief washed over Emma. This was at the moment they'd been hoping for. If only Lily could see them now, fighting for her future. Inside, the lobby gleamed with polished marble and chic decor, but all Emma could focus on was the ticking clock. She scanned the room, desperate for a sign that this was real. A figure approached them, a tall man with a confident stride. He wore a tailored suit, and there was an intensity in his gaze that made her pulse pick up. Emma? Claire? He asked, extending a hand. I'm Andrew, the CEO. Emma's heart thudded in her chest, and she took his hand, trying to gauge the man in front of her. Thank you for meeting with us, she said, her voice firm despite her jitters. No, thank you for coming on such short notice, Andrew replied, his demeanor surprisingly warm. I didn't want to waste any time discussing Lily's situation. I've read the story, and I believe we can help. Are you sure? Claire's voice was barely a whisper. You didn't even see her. I know it seems overwhelming, Andrew said softly. But we have the resources to make a difference, and I felt this urgency to act. I truly believe we can help you fund her treatment. Emma felt a swell of hope rise within her but tried to temper it. Why us? How do you know our story? Andrew leaned in, as if sharing a confidential secret. I have a mutual friend who's passionate about helping families. When I learned about Lily, I felt compelled to reach out. Emma glanced at Claire, who mirrored her mixture of hope and skepticism. But how do we know this is real? We just met you. I get it, Andrew said, a hint of sincerity in his eyes. You are understandably cautious. But I want to be transparent. Let us discuss how we can turn this hope into action. As they followed Andrew deeper into the building, Emma couldn't shake the feeling that they were teetering on the verge of something monumental. With each step, her heart pulsed, hope igniting with every beat, fueled by desperation. What if this was their chance? They entered a conference room filled with sleek technology, flickering screens, chairs arranged in a circle, and an air of potential that vibrated in her veins. Emma's mind raced with possibilities: hope for Lily, funding for her operation, a chance to turn their dreams into reality. Our team can help you navigate the logistics when it comes to fundraising, Andrew said, his voice steady. But we need to hear everything: the timeline, the costs, whatever it takes to make this happen. Emma nodded, gathering her thoughts. It's a complicated procedure, and we're running out of time. Just as she began to unfold the realities of Lily's situation, Emma felt the weight of every unspoken fear and longing. But suddenly, a chill swept through the room as a text dinged on Andrew's phone. His gaze shifted from Emma to the screen, and for a moment, the energy shifted, an unexpected tension that rippled through the air. What is it? Claire asked, brow furrowed. Andrew swallowed hard, hesitating. I need to take this. Emma exchanged frantic glances with Claire, wondering if this was the unraveling of everything they had fought for. Every fiber of her being screamed for answers. Everything all right? Emma called after him, her heart hammering. But what would this mean? Would their hope crumble away with this sudden disruption? As Andrew stepped out of the room, the atmosphere felt charged with uncertainty. They had made it this far, but would it all come crashing down in an instant? Emma took a deep breath, balancing on the edge of hope and despair, wondering what lay ahead. The room felt heavy with silence after Andrew stepped out. Emma shifted in her seat, glancing at Claire. Her sister's brow was furrowed, anxiety crackling in the air like static electricity. What do we do now? Claire asked softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Emma picked at the frayed edge of her sleeve, her mind racing. They had come so far, and now, standing on the cusp of something potentially life-changing, they were left in limbo. I guess we wait, she murmured, though the uncertainty gnawed at her. The minutes ticked by slowly. Each second felt torturous. Emma's thoughts drifted to Lily and the little girl's smile, bright and trusting. She remembered the last time they had played together. Lily's laughter echoed in her mind, a reminder of everything that was at stake. Do you think he's okay? Claire asked, her hands wringing together nervously. Yeah, I hope so, Emma replied, her heart clearly betraying her calm facade. He seemed serious, like whatever got his attention couldn't wait. The door opened abruptly, and Andrew walked back in, his expression serious yet slightly softened. He took a seat across from them, folding his hands on the table. I apologize for that, he started. It was important, but it involved family matters. You were right to wonder. Family can complicate things. Anything we need to know? Claire asked, the worry evident in her voice. Andrew shook his head, reassuring them. That part's fine. We can focus on the bigger picture here. He leaned forward, intensity returning to his eyes. Let us talk about Lily. I want you to share everything you can. I can help. Emma took a deep breath, steeling herself. It's a rare condition, she began, her voice steadying. Lily has been diagnosed with a heart defect, and the procedure we need is costly. As she spoke, Andrew listened intently, scribbling notes and occasionally asking questions. Emma felt the weight of her words, the emotions nearly overwhelming. Claire chimed in, sharing stories of their little sister's bravery and laughter, her ability to see joy in even the smallest things. She felt a spark growing between them, a sense of purpose igniting amidst the fear. What about the timeline? Andrew pressed. How soon does she need this? She needs it within the next month, Emma clarified, her heart pounding. Every day matters. We can't wait too long. Andrew paused, processing the gravity of their situation. I understand. What if I told you that there might be a way to set up a direct fundraising campaign targeting specific medical communities? We could generate support quickly. Emma's heart fluttered. You think that could work? I believe it can. I'll tap into my contacts, and we'll create a plan. But we have to be realistic about how this plays out, Andrew said earnestly. We need to present Lily's story effectively, make people feel emotionally invested in her fight. As Emma nodded, a sense of determination settled over her. They might be able to turn this into something real. They just needed to find the right words, the right way to share their story. I'll reach out to some media contacts too, Andrew continued, his enthusiasm rising. The more people who know about Lily, the better. Just then, a soft chime echoed from Andrew's phone again. He glanced down, but this time there was no hesitation. Excuse me, he said softly, stepping away from the table to take the call, leaving a charged atmosphere behind him. What if this really works? Claire whispered, eyes wide with cautious hope. Emma's answer was interrupted when Andrew returned, a look of disbelief on his face. You won't believe this, but I just got a call that is tied to all of this. Hard in her throat, Emma leaned forward. What is it? Andrew hesitated, the weight of his next words palpable. A miraculous opportunity for your sister, one you didn't expect. Emma felt the room close in around her, her breath catching in her chest. What could this opportunity be? Could it change everything for Lily? Tell us. Claire urged, eyes sparkling with curiosity and fear. As Andrew opened his mouth to speak, Emma held her breath, every ounce of anxiety and hope merging into one singular moment. Would fate finally smile upon them? Andrew took a deep breath, his gaze shifting between Emma and Claire. The intensity in his eyes was almost tangible, laden with the promise of something monumental. Just a little over 2 hours ago, I received a call from a renowned pediatric cardiologist, he began, the excitement in his voice barely contained. He has heard about Lily's case through a mutual contact, and believes he might be able to help. He wants to meet with us. Emma's heart raced. Help? Really? Is this for the surgery? She asked, a tremor of disbelief creeping into her voice. You mean he could actually do the procedure? Yes. He wants to discuss the possibility of performing the surgery at his facility, and he is willing to waive a significant portion of the costs, Andrew replied, his hands gripping the edge of the table. This could be exactly what we've been praying for. In the silence that followed, Claire's jaw dropped. How? How did he hear about Lily? It's a bit of a mix-up, honestly, Andrew chuckled nervously. My assistant sent a preliminary outreach to a few people, and somehow this doctor ended up on the list. The text was a mistake, but it turned out to be a fortuitous one. He is incredibly passionate about cases like Lily's, having faced similar circumstances in his career. Emma could hardly digest this information. A wave of emotions washed over her: hope, disbelief, even a tinge of guilt for feeling this surge of excitement amidst uncertainty. When can we meet him? She asked, almost breathless. He is available tomorrow afternoon. He said he'll clear his schedule just for you, Andrew replied, his eagerness illuminating his eyes. We've got to be ready to present everything: Lily's medical history, her needs, and your story. Claire's eyes sparkled with renewed energy. We can do this. We'll fill out all the forms, make a list of what we want to ask him exactly, Emma interjected, her mind racing with frantic thoughts. We need to prepare ourselves. This is a huge opportunity. We can't let it slip away. Andrew nodded, his expression softening as he leaned back in his chair. You both have such strength. Lily is lucky to have you as sisters. I have no doubt you'll impress him with your passion. As the three of them began brainstorming questions and logistics, a sense of purpose settled over Emma. It felt like they were standing on the edge of a cliff, peering out into the unknown, but rather than fear, there was an undercurrent of excitement. They could see the horizon lined with hope, a dream barely within reach, flickering like a distant star. Suddenly, Emma's phone rang, slicing through the charged atmosphere. She frowned at the unknown number on the screen but answered it, curiosity peaking. Hello? Emma? It's Susan. From the fundraising committee, the voice on the other end chimed, a tinge of urgency in her tone. I just heard about your sister, Lily. Can you meet tomorrow? We need to discuss how we can get involved. We just might have some connections that could help. Emma exchanged glances with Andrew and Claire, her heartbeat quickening yet again. Yes, of course, she replied, her voice steadier than she felt. We can meet. What time? Let us say before the doctor's appointment just in case, Susan suggested. Perfect, Emma said, excitement blooming again. This was becoming too surreal, like a dream where everything was falling into place just as imagined. As she ended the call, an even sweeter wave of hope washed over her. But it wasn't just excitement surrounding meeting the doctor or the committee. It was an undeniable feeling that somehow, despite everything, they were being guided toward a miraculous resolution. Let us get to work. Tomorrow is going to be big, Emma said, a smile spreading across her face. The sisters huddled together, determination rising like the sun. A new dawn was breaking. With their preparations settling into place, though, a small, nagging doubt pulled at the edges of Emma's mind. What if this opportunity was just a fleeting moment, a sheer stroke of luck that wouldn't last? But then again, what if it was the beginning of something miraculous? As they dove into the preparations, the excitement swirling around them, Emma couldn't shake the looming question that hovered over her heart. Could this really change everything for Lily? Would tomorrow be the day that flipped their world upside down? The morning light streamed through the window, illuminating Emma's face, and she squinted, still tangled in the moments of last night. She lay in bed, thoughts swirling around the day ahead. The weight of anticipation pressed down on her, but she felt a flicker of hope, a bright ember that wouldn't die out. The sudden chirp from her phone nearly made her jump out of bed. It was a message from Claire. Breakfast is ready. Don't be late. Emma let out a nervous chuckle as she rolled out of bed, shaking off the remnants of sleep. In the kitchen, Claire stood over the stove, flipping pancakes, the intoxicating scent engulfing Emma. You look like you could use some breakfast before everything goes down today, Claire said, her smile contagious. Thanks, I definitely need energy, Emma replied, pulling up a chair. Today is huge, right? Claire nodded, flipping another pancake onto a plate. Absolutely. I can't shake this feeling that something good is about to happen. Just then, Andrew arrived, looking sharp in his fitted blazer. Good morning, ladies. Ready for the big day? He asked, his enthusiasm palpable. Emma glanced at Claire, who nodded encouragingly. I think we are, she said, biting into a fluffy pancake. As they discussed their plan, Emma couldn't shake the feeling of excitement mixed with a burning knot in her stomach. They reviewed their notes, each question they planned to ask becoming clearer and more important. Every detail counted. She shivered, imagining life shaking loose from the tight grip of fear. Emma's mind drifted for a moment, basking in lingering thoughts of facing the doctor. What kind of doctor would he be? Would he look at Lily and see what they saw, an incredible soul, deserving of hope and a future? After breakfast, they gathered their files and headed out. The ride felt electric with anticipation, every passing block heightening Emma's senses. Okay, let us not forget to breathe, Andrew said, chuckling, trying to ease the tension. Easy for you to say, Emma muttered, glancing at Claire, who was biting her lip, an old habit she had when nervous. The hospital loomed ahead like a fortress, but it didn't feel intimidating. it felt hopeful. They parked, taking a moment to gather themselves. "We're in this together, no matter what happens," Claire said, squeezing Emma's hand. Inside, the atmosphere was buzzing with activity, nurses hurriedly going about their tasks and patients waiting anxiously. They were directed toward a small conference room. Emma's heart raced. This was the moment Andrew introduced them, and the cardiologist, Dr. Hunter, walked in. He was tall, with salt and pepper hair, and sharp, wise eyes that sparkled with warmth. "Hello, everyone. I've looked over Lily's case. Let us dive in, shall we?" Emma took a deep breath, sharing Lily's story, the laughter, the struggles, and that spark of joy that defined her. As she spoke, she felt the weight of the world shift. There was connection there, a shared heartbeat of determination. The doctor nodded along, his expression serious yet understanding. Every nod, every expression from Dr. Hunter ignited hope, filling the room until it felt almost tangible. And then it came, the moment when Dr. Hunter leaned forward, a glimmer of excitement in his eyes. "I think we have some strategies we can explore together." Before he could reveal more, a knock at the door interrupted the moment, sending a ripple of unease through Emma. The door swung open, and a woman walked in, her face familiar yet slightly distant. "I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I've been looking for you, Emma." Emma's breath caught. Who was she? What could be so urgent that it would disrupt this pivotal moment? The room fell silent, all eyes on her. The unfamiliar woman smiled faintly, the gravity of her presence sending a shiver down Emma's spine. What could possibly be so important now? Emma managed to whisper, her heart racing. Only time would tell what this new interruption meant. Emma's heart thudded in her chest as she searched the woman's face for answers. The woman took a breath, her eyes settling on Emma with a warmth that was almost comforting despite the tension in the room. "I'm sorry to barge in like this. My name is Sarah. I'm an old friend of your mother's." Emma frowned, confusion wrapping around her like a heavy blanket. "My mother? Which mother?" "She has been looking for you, Emma. For a long time." "I just found out you were here today," Sarah replied, her voice steadying as if she de-rehearsed it, though Emma could see the concern behind her gaze. "Wait. What do you mean?" "I don't understand," Emma stammered, feeling the world spin ever so slightly. Claire shot a glance at Andrew. "This isn't the time for this. We're here about Lily, not family drama." "I get it. But this is important," Sarah insisted, stepping forward. "Your mother is Emma." "It's okay," Andrew interrupted, his voice soft but firm. "We can deal with this later. Right now, it's about Lily." Dr. Hunter's brows furrowed, and he gently broke the silence. "If this is urgent, perhaps we need to step out for a moment. We can reconvene in a few minutes." Emma felt the ground shift beneath her. She was supposed to be focused on Lily, on hope and possibilities, not on this mysterious woman talking about her mother. But every instinct told her this wasn't a moment to let go. "No," Emma said quickly. "She's right. I need to know what this is about." Sarah nodded earnestly, her eyes shimmering. "I promise it's related. Your mother, she has been sick. And now she needs your help." Emma felt her heart clench. "What do you mean? Is she all right?" "It's complicated. She's in a position that she can't reach out to you herself. But if you want, I can explain everything. It's something you should definitely know." The words hung in the air. Emma's mind raced, thoughts of childhood memories, laughter, moments lost in time, all crashing together. Her father's face flashed in her memories, and the way he had always assured her that her mother loved her, even if they weren't together. The very fabric of her family history seemed to unravel with every syllable. Claire squeezed Emma's hand, grounding her. Emma glanced at Dr. Hunter, who was watching intently, clearly sensing the weight of the situation. "Look," Emma said, her voice trembling slightly, but filled with determination, "Lily's health, her care, is the very reason I'm here. But if there's something about my mother, something she needs me for, I can't ignore that. Then let us take this moment. Come talk with me." and we'll get to the bottom of this, Sarah urged, sensing Emma's inner turmoil. The room was still buzzing with the urgency of moments before, but Emma felt a shift. She had tethered her heart to Lily, but now was drawn into the gravity of a past she thought was settled. Just a moment, Dr. Hunter said, stepping aside. It's critical that you make an informed choice. As they moved to the corner, away from prying eyes, Emma felt a storm brewing within her. What was her mother's condition that made this stranger feel it was urgent? What new weight would this bring to her already overflowing plate? Tell me everything, Emma whispered, a mix of fear and hope swirling within her as Sarah took a breath, preparing to lay bare the secrets that could change everything. Just then, the hospital's intercom crackled to life, cutting through the tension with an announcement that made Emma freeze. Code Blue in Wing A. All available staff to Wing A immediately. What was happening now? Emma's heart raced as she felt the urgency of the moment ballooning. Let us go, Claire said, eyes wide, grasping Emma's arm as they both turned toward the noise, caught in the whirlwind of uncertainty once again. Was it the moment she thought might give her peace, or a dramatic turn she hadn't anticipated? Emma knew she was on the precipice of discovering truths that could change her world forever, but she needed to decide, would she chase the echoes of the past, or hold tight to the hope of the future? Everything was about to collide in ways she never saw coming. The air in the hospital buzzed with tension as Emma and Claire stepped back into the conference room, their minds racing. The announcement echoing through the building reminded them that time was slipping away, and every second counted. Dr. Hunter returned, his expression still serious, ready to focus. Let us get back to Lily, he urged. Emma squared her shoulders, ready to dive deep into their discussion again. Yes, Lily is top priority. We need to make this happen for her. But before they could settle back into the discussion, Emma's phone buzzed again. It was a message from Jack. We're getting the fundraiser organized. People are stepping up. Stay strong. Strength surged through Emma, and she shared the message with the group. Jack is rallying the community. They're on our side. Claire smiled, a flicker of hope illuminating her eyes. That's it. We need that support now more than ever. Dr. Hunter nodded. Okay, let us outline everything, how to reach out, what press releases we'll need, and the story we must tell to the public. As they brainstormed strategies and ideas, Emma felt a fire ignite inside her. Each plan created a tangible thread of hope. Could they really turn this into the miracle Lily needed? The atmosphere shifted as focus returned to Lily. The door creaked open, and Sarah re-entered, her presence felt like an unexpected twist. I know this is complicated, but I'm here for a reason. Emma's gaze flickered between Dr. Hunter and Sarah, the weight of both their situations hanging in the air. I'm listening, she said, determined not to let anything distract her from her sister's urgent needs. Your mother, Sarah began cautiously, she has been living in regret and might want to reach out. I can facilitate that conversation, but she truly needs you, Emma. Tears pooled in Emma's eyes briefly. Memories of her mother flooded back, missing years of laughter, warmth, and the bond they once shared. But would she really be willing to mend the past when Lily's future was hanging in the balance? Right now, all you need to focus on is Lily, Claire encouraged, squeezing Emma's arm. We can work through the rest later. Emma inhaled deeply, centering herself. Okay, she replied softly, her voice steadier now. I can handle this once we get Lily what she needs. Just then, the conference room door swung open, and a group of people in scrubs rushed in, eyebrows furrowed and their faces taut with urgency. Excuse me, Dr. Hunter, one of them said, a nurse in the front stepping forward, we need you in Wing A immediately. Emma's heart raced again. Were they losing time? Jack's efforts were underway, and now a medical emergency in the hospital? Right, I'll absolutely be there, Dr. Hunter said, gathering his papers. We can continue strategizing in a few moments. This is important. But can you leave us? Emma asked desperately, feeling the need for consistency. What can we do in the meantime? Keep pushing forward with the fundraiser, Dr. Hunter urged, determination etched on his face. Get the community involved. We need to get as much awareness out there as possible. With that, he dashed out of the room, leaving Emma and her sister again in silence, but a new flame kindling within her. Let us do this, Claire said, catching Emma's eye. We can't let these setbacks bring us down. They gathered their notes again, mapping out their next steps and creating a plan for their community's involvement. Emma felt the support flowing into her from those around her, the energy of hope filling the void of doubt. Just as they finalized their strategy, a text from Jack pinged again. We've reached 20,000 in less than an hour. People want to help. What? Emma's heart raced again, the tide turning in her favor. This is possible. Sarah chimed in, her sincerity breaking the heavy atmosphere. Your community loves you, they believe in Lily just as much as you do. Trust that love will create ripples. Yes. Emma exclaimed, fire in her spirit. We will win this. And in that moment, resolve paved new paths. Time felt strangely flexible, the universe shifting to align in their favor. With newfound energy, the trio set to work. They crafted posts for social media, engaged local businesses, and reached out to friends, amplifying Lily's story. It felt empowering to see their plans blossom into action as they spread hope like wildfire. Later that afternoon, they gathered around a laptop, faces glued to the screen as donations rolled in. The warmth of a community enveloped them, and Emma stood taller, buoyed by the outpouring of support. It was palpable. This is just the beginning, Claire whispered, pride shining in her voice. Laughter erupted between them as they celebrated each milestone, a strong sisterly bond reinforcing the foundation of hope surrounding them. Then, as the sun began to set, bringing the day to an end, a familiar sound rang out from Claire's pocket. An unexpected phone call. It's from a newspaper, they want to cover our story, Claire said, excitement bubbling. Emma's heart swelled. We need to jump on that. The more people that know, the bigger the impact. They stepped into the evening glow, knowing they were in the middle of something bigger than themselves. United in purpose, with every second counting down to Lily's treatment, Emma breathed deeply. They were fighting for the future of their family. Whatever else awaited, they were ready to face it head-on. Finally, as they wrapped up the planning, Claire said, remember, it isn't just about Lily. We'll be okay, no matter what. Emma nodded, understanding, the uncertainty of what would come next still looming but not crushing them any longer. They were stronger together. As they embraced, Emma felt the power of hope surge through her. Maybe they would face the unknown together, but they had embarked upon a journey marked by destiny, and somewhere amidst the noise, laughter, and love, she thought, maybe, just maybe, they were on the verge of an incredible baby miracle. You need to subscribe now to join us on this journey, to catch every moment that unfolds as we chase hope and healing. This is the moment to show your support and leave a like now to keep our unity and strength alive in the algorithm. Don't wait, not even one more second, to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to believe in miracles and transformation. Let's spread the message that community and love can conquer all.